Okay. Happy Thursday. I literally can't even believe it's already the end of the week and the month just started yesterday. So much has been going on, but I'm really excited about this call today. So first off, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Adriana. You guys can call me Adri. And I'm doing this call today with my upline, Melanie. She's here. So I'm super excited for that. And today we're going to be talking about 3 mental shifts to end 2021 strong, right? So here are the topics that we're going to be discussing. Are you interested or are you committed to this business, right? This is something that only you can determine for yourself, whatever your beliefs and your actions are, right? That leads to habits and consistency. And that's what Melanie, I wanted to feature her here today because she's been super amazing with her habits and her consistency, you know, and I want her to talk to us about her experience with the 75 hard. So we're going to be hearing a little bit about that today. We're going to be touching upon these 3 mental shifts. And then most importantly today, what you learn here needs to be implemented, right? Remember, knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So let's get into it. I'm sure many of you guys have felt this, right? If anything applies, I want you guys to drop one in the chat. Have you thought, I want more, right? I want more out of this business. I want more out of life. I'm doing all the things, but I'm not seeing the results. I'm seeing everybody rank up. I'm seeing everybody get a VIP. I see everybody get an MP, right? When is it going to be my turn? If you can relate, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. I see the chat going off now. So I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate and I can 100% relate too. So the goal of this call, like I said, is going to be 3 simple mental shifts to make so that we don't have to feel like that, right? Because we shouldn't have to feel like that, especially when a lot of us are putting in the effort. If something's not working, there's a reason why it's not working. And the thing about this business is that this business is like 80% mentality, right? And 20% strategy. Another way to say that is 80% mindset and 20% like technical, right? It's just about the strategies, going through the motions. So that's a huge thing for me, because I didn't realize that, right? For me, when I had first started this business, I was like, I'm doing all the work. And I shared this before on a different call, but I was like, I'm doing all the work. I didn't understand. I was doing the posting, I was getting on the calls, and I wasn't seeing the results I wanted. And it's because I didn't realize the mindset, the role that mindset played. So I'm going to pass it over to Melanie because she's going to be talking about habits and consistency. And something that I want you guys to keep in mind as she's speaking is marry the process, but divorce the results, right? Divorce the outcome, and consider what are your non-negotiables, because I'm 100% sure she's going to be touching upon her non-negotiables and what she does every single day, what she does to see success in her business. So Melanie, take it away.
Hello. Okay, everyone. My name's Melanie. I am 26 years old and I'm from Puerto Rico, if you guys don't know me. But yeah, I started 75 Hard, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is. It's a mental toughness program. It's not physical like everybody thinks, the working out, the being, super, you have to be fit for it. No, not at all. It's 100% mental. So it consists of 75 days, no rest. So every single day for 75 days, I have to do 2 workouts, right? They have to be 45 minutes each. One of them has to be outdoors, okay? It has to be outdoors. It doesn't matter if it's raining, there's a tornado, a hurricane, it's snowing, doesn't matter the weather, you still have to do it outside. I remember when I'm doing it for the second time right now, but my first day, it started raining. Okay, it started raining for my first outdoor workout, and I was like, oh my Jesus, it's already hard, and it's the freaking first day, but I still had to like stick through it, right? So those 2 workouts. Then I have to take a progress picture that, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you forget about the easiest, smallest things, and apply this to the business. Sometimes we forget about to post on our social media, which is something that it should be a non-negotiable, posting about our business and our products every single day. Something as basic, we forget. And that's how I replied it with taking the picture every single day. I also have to read 10 pages of a book, and it can't be fiction. It has to be a nonfiction, self-help, personal development book. And it has to be 10 pages, and it cannot be an audiobook. It has to be, it could be from your phone, but you have to read it. You can't listen to it. You have to read it. Okay. I have to drink a gallon of water. I'm almost done after this water. A gallon of water every day. I have to follow a diet, and no cheat meals or alcohol. So those are all the requirements for 75 hard. And I don't know if you know, but I'm doing it for the second time, and I added something to my list. I added a power hour. I cannot go to bed, and then this I have to do before 11:59 every single day. And I can't go to bed without doing all of this plus a power hour for my business. That's my list for this 75 days. And I started on December 1st, but I already finished it the first time. And the reason I'm doing it for the second time is because I didn't feel that I went 100% into it. Like, yes, I did it. I completed it. I never like messed up. I did everything before 11:59, but mentally, I think especially the workouts and the food, I was being like making it easier for me. Like there was like 2 weeks went by, and for the 2 weeks I did my outdoor workouts was only walking, and I wasn't even sore. You know, when in that outdoor workout, I could have done something else. I could have jogged at least for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes, you know, made it a little bit harder on myself. And instead of doing the walk every single day, you know, like mentally, I was making the challenge easier for me, when that's not the point of the challenge. The point of the challenge is to make yourself really, really uncomfortable. And I'm not gonna lie, there were days that I woke up and I was like, nope, not feeling this today. And there was a lot of days like this, not feeling this today. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to do anything. And there was one day, it was like 6 o'clock, and I still hadn't done anything. Not even read my book, didn't do my 2 workouts. And the thing is that in between workouts, you have to wait at least 3 hours to do the second one. So that day I like barely finished at 11:50, 11:55 something, but I still had to do it, you know. But it would have been so much easier if I just woke up and did it. But sometimes, you know, we're not there mentally, and that's the hardest part of this. But all it takes is a mental shift of you. I know right now I'm not feeling like it, but in the future, I know I'm going to see the results. But if I don't do this for me right now, who else is going to do it? You know, if I don't pick myself up, who else is going to do it for me? Nobody else. So I had to do it. And especially the water was really hard. It's one of the hardest things about the challenge is the freaking water. And sometimes you feel like throwing up and it's horrible. But if you compare it to the business right now, it's like we have to show up every single day. We have to do the uncomfortable things. We have to do, right, those things that we might not like right now, but we still have to do them, you know. The things we don't like the most about the business, the ones we think we struggle the most. Like, for example, I hear a lot, oh, I'm good with VIPs, but I suck with recruiting. So you have to give it 145 or 100 to 100% to recruiting, instead of giving that all the time focusing on what you're good at. You know, you have to dedicate more time on what you're not good at, so you can be better at it. So right? Because anything that we don't know, we learn. And that's the beauty about this business. And we don't have to make anything up. We don't have to make anything up. We already have the answers. We just got to go look for them. We just got to go read about them, listen about them, because all the information is still out there. It's you making that decision of showing up for you. Because if you don't do it for you, literally nobody else is going to do it. It takes one decision of you telling yourself, I'm sick of my shit. I'm sick of my whining. I'm sick of all my things that I keep complaining about, and let's do something about it. But you have to make that decision for you to take that one step and start, seeing the results. And about what Adri was saying, during this challenge, the first month, I was not seeing any results. I even in the pictures, I was like, oh my goodness, it's been a month of this. And I think I lost like 2 pounds, or like 2 pounds. Like, it was bad. I was like, Jesus, like, is this really worth it? Like, is this really but that's the thing about the business and about the challenge, that yes, everybody starts super motivated at the beginning. Everybody's like, yeah, let's do this. I'm doing it. Da, 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 da. But what happens on day 35? What happens on day 55? What happened on day 65, that you're almost like 10 days away? What happens then? Are you still going to show up for yourself, or you're going to give up? So that's what I wanted to say for you. I don't know if you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat, but this challenge teaches you a lot, and I recommend this challenge for any network marketer, because it literally changes your mentality, your habits, and it makes you want to be better and do better. So thank you.
Thank you. And the reason why I picked Melanie, obviously she's my upline, but is that I watched her journey. So like, I met Melanie, we went to college together like years, well, not that long ago, like within the last 5 years, but with her, I've seen her journey, right? Like her fitness journey, her weight loss journey, and what's crazy to me is that I'm sure, like she kind of touched upon it, but I'm sure there are people who are like, oh, she's lost this weight from the 75 hard challenge. No, Melanie has been in the gym like day in and day out for like the last year and a half. But what she said is so true, because I think there's like a quote, you guys probably have seen it, where it's like, it's 4 weeks till you notice a difference. It's 8 weeks till the people around you notice a difference. And it's 12 weeks till everybody else in the world notices a difference. And like, that's a huge thing when it comes to this business, is like, sometimes you have to like put your head down and hustle, but you have to hustle quietly, because you're going to have a lot of eyes on you, but not everybody necessarily like wants to see you win, or wants to see what you have to accomplish, or like, and we've spoken about this, but sometimes people can't acknowledge when you come from the same place and you're doing something with your life and they're not. And that's why I wanted her to talk about it, because I sent her a message the other day, but I was like, you literally make me so proud and you inspire me so much. And constantly, like in the business, outside of the business, there's things that she does that helps me learn, hey, she did it, that means I can do it too, So thank you so much for sharing, Melanie. And I love how you shared that kind of like that idea of being interested or being committed, right? There are people, I've seen so many people start this challenge, and it's true. There are people who for not taking a picture, had to restart the challenge. I've seen people, they couldn't drink the gallon of water or whatever. Like, I've seen so many people try to do this challenge. So I commend her not only for doing it, but taking a second shot at it. And that idea of, even though I did it, I didn't do it to my fullest potential. And I recognize that, right? The same thing with this business. A lot of us are going through the motions and we don't do it till our fullest potential. So when she says, like, she matched the idea of forgetting to post content, guys, that's me. I can spend hours and hours in Canva doing different content in Unfold and stuff like that. And sometimes I spend so much time doing it that I forget to post it. And it's something that I'm constantly having to remind myself. So now I have checklists. Now I make sure I have my non-negotiables, my IPAs, but I wanted to really focus on these 3 mindset shifts and get into it. So mindset shift number 1 is break up with your bitch voice, right? 40% of the people on this call probably have goals that they can achieve, but they didn't achieve because they didn't act. Why? Because you talk yourself out of it, right? Those days that Melanie didn't want to get out of bed to do her 75 hard, that was the day that her brain was self-sabotaging and saying, I don't want to do it, right? Like, I'm safer in bed, I'm safer here, I'm safer being comfortable. Those are the days that you guys don't want to get out of bed and get on your stories, right? You're gonna post a flyer to talk about the business, or you're not gonna post at all. You're not gonna follow up with your potentials. You're not gonna make new contacts and new touches. Why? Because your brain is comfortable where it is. You have to stretch and mold your brain and train it that it's safe out here, right? Because guess what? The bigger you stretch it, the more it grows, the more space that you have. And Bianca says this quote that honestly I love. It's like, stop trying to focus on doing all the things. And she's like, focus on you, because the better you get, the bigger you get, right? So focus on personal development, and your business is going to grow in turn, because when you grow you, everything around you magnifies. What you focus on magnifies. So that's super, super important, especially when this business takes so much like mental strength with all the no's that we get, right? With all the interactions that we have. If you want to talk spiritually, with all the interactions we have with other people, like when you're engaging with a lot of energies, that can be super draining for you. So imagine yourself, like, if you're not good, and this is me, like, you guys, I feel so bad looking at myself of where I was in my business like a year and a half ago, because every little thing, I used to call Melanie cried. I used to be like voice noting her, and I'm like, Melanie, I'm such a bad leader. I don't know how to lead a team. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys, like, that's a red light story, right? That's your brain taking advantage of the lack of confidence you have, giving you a distraction, making you indecisive, and you cannot let your loser voice take over, right? It took me so long to get myself out of that, but guess what? I did the work, and now I can identify it, right? Now I know what my red light stories are, and the thing is that you can rewrite them, right? Whatever you tell yourself is literally your reality. So if you tell yourself, oh, I can't get any VIPs, right? I can't sign up any market partners. I'm not good at this business. I'm not a good leader. I don't deserve my wins, right? I'm never going to be SED. That's true. I'm sorry to tell you, but then that's true. Because your words, they hold weight. Your words hold power. And if you say it and you believe it, then that's your reality, right? That's gonna manifest itself in your life. If you say you can't get VIPs, you're not going to get VIPs. You're not going to get anybody taking your hair quiz, taking your skin quiz. You're not going to get anybody buying the products, right? So when we let the voice take over, we let it tell us who we are, what we can accomplish. But I want you guys to sit here and ask, are you fighting back or are you accepting it, right? A lot of us say this, like, this reel super dumb. This income earner made a way better one, right? Like, I made the same reel as Jacqueline Ortega, but hers came out way, way better, right? Why are you talking about getting the Cadillac? You haven't even earned it yet. You still haven't even ranked up to MMP. Oh, you're a really crappy leader. No one's ever going to join your team. You have no idea what you're doing. You don't have experience. These are all stories that we tell ourselves that are not true at all, you guys. Remember, like, your brain is always going to self-sabotage because it wants to keep you safe. It's anything that's different than what you have been programmed to do and programmed to learn. It's always going to want to keep it there. It's never going to want to see that change, but that's why we're constantly molding and stretching ourselves to be able to accomplish new goals, right? Remember, we're in uncharted territory here. Like, this is not traditional. We're not in a traditional business model. And that doesn't mean it doesn't work. And it doesn't mean that we aren't meant to be here. Now, what we have to do is reassert your place of authority in your own mind, right? Remember that you're the boss. It's kind of like, the way that I'll put it is when you have in the shows, the little devil here, like saying something, that's how it is. That's your bitch voice right there, right? So average people hear their bitch voice and let it dictate every term of their life. Successful people take the specific steps to take control of their mental conversations. And Melanie said this, personal development, right? There's a reason why in the 75 Hard, you're not reading a nonfiction fiction book. You're reading personal development because you're there to make yourself better, right? I don't know if you guys have read Atomic Habits by James Clear, or The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. But those books all focus on small habits that compound, right? The compound effect is all about consistency. The little things that you do every day is what makes big ripples and big waves, right? So normal people sometimes have hard days and let their bitch voice creep in, recognize it, but what they do is that they recognize it and they take control. So think about your favorite leader in the business, right? Maybe it's Joe Irigoyen, maybe it's Isabel Sanchez, Veronica Bayona, Bianca Abreu, all these people that you look up to that, don't get me wrong, they are 100% badass women, but they have their bad days too. Why? Because they're normal. But what do? When their bitch voice is creeping in, when their bitch voice is saying that they're less than, that they're not capable, that they can't do something, that they're having a bad day, they recognize it and they take control. But I don't know if you guys remember Joe speaking at that panel at Money. She was talking about personal development. She's talking about how from when she wakes up to when she's going to sleep, all she's doing is personal development, and look at where it's gotten her, right? She leads a team of thousands. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of people that she has within her organization. But the way that she makes it work is by filling her cup and pouring into herself first. So make sure that you're talking to yourself consciously. Remember that you are the keynote speaker in your mind, right? So the ways that you can talk to yourself consciously is recognizing that negative self-talk and say, I'm not going to talk to myself like that today, right? Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to close that VIP. I'm going to close that market partner. You need to start speaking yourself into that mood. So you decide what to tell yourself. No one else does. And remember that. So would you ask yourself, would you let anybody else talk to you the way that you talk to yourself? When you reassert the authority of who is in control in your mind, you are now stepping in control of that situation. The way that I like to put it is I'm co-conspiring with the universe. I'm the co-creator of my life. So I like to reaffirm to myself that I'm always in charge. Life isn't happening to me, but it's happening for me, right? So what you need to do is actively autocorrect the negativity in your brain. Change how you feel. That's going to change how you act. And guess what? It's going to change your paychecks. So reprogram your brain. On a sheet of paper, what you can do when something happens, on the left side, you can identify negative self-talk and thoughts, right? This is an example. And then on the right side, you'll do the positive self-talk / thoughts, right? So the negative example could be that, okay, I posted all day long. I worked for hours. Nobody answered me, right? People aren't answering my messages. They're not answering my posts. One person responded to my post. But the way that you shift that into a positive self-talk / thought is going to be, okay, I'm going to post another bomb ass story tomorrow. I'm going to start conversations with 15 new people. It's going to get my inbox popping. And then something that's super interesting, and I actually saw this on TikTok, but I couldn't find the video on my camera roll, was this woman was talking about the way that I handle situations like that when I haven't heard back from like a client or a person, is I'm telling myself they're taking time to get back to me because they're thinking about how they're going to support my business. They're thinking about what they're going to buy from me, right? So start telling yourself that, because you're making it up anyways. Like your brain is overthinking. So you might as well make something up that's positive. Make something up that fits the narrative that you want to live. So tell yourself, okay, Fulanita didn't get back to me and she didn't answer my reach out after taking my influencer quiz because she's thinking about what product pack she wants to buy, right? The potential client, she didn't get back to me when I was talking about, when I sent her the different cards, because she's thinking about if she's going to go with the card with 3 products or she's going to go with the card with 5 products. You know, that's the rhythm that I want you guys to get into with your business, and it applies to your personal life too. So the second mental shift is going to be becoming okay with failure, right? I want you to start to expect people to say no to you, right? Training yourself to do this is going to make things much easier on you, right? So if you're not where you want to be, it just means that you haven't failed enough times, right? So when you do an action for your business, you're either getting the result that you want or you're getting the lesson that you need in your business. So I'm going to repeat that again. When you do an action for your business, you're either getting the result that you want, or you're getting the lesson that you need in your business. And something that's super, super important that I want you guys to have this like ingrained into you is that the no's build you and the yeses build your business. So the no's build you and the yeses build your business. If there is one thing that you walk away with today, I need that to be it, right? Because for example, when we join the business, we make our list of 100 and stuff like that. You're supposed to go through that list of 100 because mathematically you get one yes for every 10 no's, right? Which means that out of a list of 100, you're going to get like 10 yeses, right? You guys, do not stress about this. It just means every no means you're one step closer to a yes. That's not a bad thing. And remember, when somebody says no to your business, they're not saying no to you. So Melanie talked about this, and I knew I was going to come back to it, but it's easy to be faithful during the high seasons, right? It's easy to be motivated. It's easy to be excited when you first start something. When we're all, I don't know where you guys are at in your business, if you could drop it in the chat, but how long you've been with money. When you're first starting Smart Start, and those VIP acquisition bonuses and those Black bonuses and those little neighborhood bonuses are coming in, it's easy to be happy, right? When it's Q4 and we have all these launches and all these drops and holiday kits, Monations, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's easy to be excited about being in the business, right? Because that's the energy in the room. But when things start to slow down, when you don't have as much traction, when not many eyes are on you as usual, right? When you're not having as many conversations, when things start to slow down, like I would say in the summer, maybe depending on how your business is, it's hard to be faithful to your business if you're interested. But if you're committed, all you know that you're doing is you're riding the highs and the lows, right? The person who's interested in their business is not going to get as rewarded as a person who's committed into their business. Why? Because the person who's interested in their business shows up when it's convenient for them. The person who's committed in their business shows up every day, no matter the circumstances, rain or shine, right? Whether there's potentials or not, whether they feel like it or not. And on the days that they don't feel like it, they go 10 times harder, right? So something that I heard, and I know a lot of people say you need to treat potentials and you need to treat your business like prospecting, like dating, right? Somebody said this, like your business lessons are like heartbreak. They're meant to build tough skin. So like for me, I'm somebody that I've lost people on my team. I've had people walk away from the business and I used to cry and thinking it has something to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. And it took me months to realize that, right? I know it's happened to other people. I know it's happened to other leaders. I know other people have left and come back, right? I know, like huge legs have dropped from, like hearing stories, huge legs have dropped from Joey DeGoyan, right? Joe shared one time and I thought like, I was like, no, this is happening to me. Like I lost my first market partner, blah, blah, blah. Joe said, my first market partner is not even in the business anymore. Like, I have no idea what she's doing with my life. That didn't stop her from getting an MDC. That didn't stop her from being 3 MDC. That didn't stop her from getting to SED. It didn't stop her from getting the car, being elite. And I was sitting here like, whoa, she's really just like me, right? Like a SED is a MMP who never quit. And for me, I was so in my head focused on this is only happening to me, blah, blah, blah. No, it happens to everybody. It's a part of the business. Like, if you haven't picked up the book, there's a book called Get Over Your Damn Self. See, there's a book called Get Over Your Damn Self. And I don't know her name. It's Romy something, right? She shares attrition is natural, right? It's just the name of the game. It's something that is in our industry, but guess what? You're gonna have people who are ride or die, right? The same way you have friends in your life who are ride or die, You're going to have people in this business who are ride or die, who are going to be there in the highs and the low seasons. And those are your people. The same way we say, if you are going to have to string somebody along to join the business, you're going to have to drag them and drag their feet while they're in the business. That applies here. So guess what? When I realized that, I was like, guess what? Somebody doesn't want to work this business. That's not on me. That's on them. Why? Because I make my paycheck. They don't make my paycheck, right? At the end of the day, I'm still working this business, whether or not you're here. I'm still gonna sign up VIPs. I'm still gonna sign up other MPs. So there's nothing I could do, right? This is a mutual relationship, right? We need to be, yes, that's her name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we need to be mutually aligned, because guess what? This is 50-50. Like, I'm matching energy here. So the same way, like, my upline knows that if I need something from her, she gets something from me, right? This is mutually beneficial. With me and my downlines, as long as you're showing up and doing the business, I'm one phone call away, right? If you're constantly being like, oh, well, I don't know what to do, I need the strategies, blah, 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 but you're not getting on calls. You're not going into the Facebook group, right? You want to be spoon-fed information, and even when you're spoon-fed information and resources, you're not doing anything. That's not somebody that I want to work with, right? That's not somebody who's committed. That's not even somebody who's interested, honestly. But that's something that I wanted to share with you guys, because it's such a great perspective. I mean, I'm sure maybe you had your heart broken, maybe you didn't, but you know that it builds tough skin, right? So remember, if you're not where you want to be, it's because you haven't failed enough. That means that you haven't failed enough to become the person you need to be, right? Because this was something that was hard for me to understand. Like, I didn't understand why I wasn't breaking past MMP. Like, I can't rank up. But guess what? If I had earned AMM, MM, director, and I had achieved those ranks without learning the lessons I needed to, I wouldn't have been prepared for them, right? What am I gonna do when I have fires that I have to start putting out in my team? What am I gonna do when somebody needs me here for this problem and it's something I haven't dealt with yet in my business? What am I gonna do when I don't have, I don't wanna say the mental capacity, but the mindset to deal with these certain problems, right? So remember, it's not that the universe is working against you, it's that it's working for you, right? So the way that I like to treat the business, I personally started, I started in my last semester of college. So I like to treat Monet like getting my degree. I have to show up to class. Class is my calls, right? I have to do my homework. My homework are IPAs, right? And ANSYS is saying this, there's so many resources. We're a part of one of the very few, if not only, companies that provide trainings like this for their partners and team trainings. That's so true, you guys. And not even just, well, yes, this company, not even just the company, but the team that you're on, or the teams that are collaborating right now with the Elevate movement. You guys, there are literally so many resources that I have other friends in other teams at Money that ask me, oh, can I get on this call? Like, oh, do you have something that you can send me and stuff like that? And so remember, we have such a great privilege here with the WhatsApp groups, the Telegram chat, the Facebook groups, right? On top of Market Partner Academy, like, there's literally so much information. And I would say 3 before me, right? Try to check 3 resources before going to your upline, because I guarantee you're gonna find the answer. I learned so much in my first few months as a market partner, just because I was so afraid to ask my upline anything. It's not that I couldn't, but I was over here like, no, I don't want to bother her. Like, she's busy doing stuff. Like, I need to learn on myself. With that being said, like, 100% don't suffer in silence by yourself. That's the whole reason why a group chat is there. But also take the initiative to go learn stuff, because guess what? When I was trying to figure out, okay, what are the VIP benefits? How do you sign up a market partner? I learned a lot along the way, right? So remember, pull wisdom from your failures instead of letting them define you. So this kind of goes back to the idea of when somebody says no, right? It's not that they're saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity right now. In that moment, they don't see a need for it, right? The same way that when somebody walks away from the business, when somebody says they don't want the products, that doesn't define you, you guys. I need you to acknowledge that you not accomplishing your goals, that's not a definition of your worth, right? It's not even a definition of your work ethic. So change your relationship with failure. I always say fail forward, right? The quicker you change your relationship with failure, the faster you're going to progress throughout this business, right? So end this year, today, after we get on the call, tomorrow when you wake up, expect your prospects to say no to you. Detach from the outcome. That's super important. I want you to go into every conversation that you're offering the business, that you're having a conversation with a potential. Expect them to say no, so that when they say yes to you, you're pleasantly surprised. Be pleasantly surprised when they say yes. If they say no, it just means that there's not a need for them, or they don't have a problem to be solved. So for example, somebody who doesn't want the products, maybe they don't have scalp issues, right? Maybe, they probably are using a shitty shampoo, but maybe they don't realize it yet, right? If somebody feels like they don't need the business, maybe they're in a financial situation that it's not necessary for them, right? That doesn't mean that 6 months from now you can't follow up and see if things have changed, right? Because that's usually the case. For me, it took me 7 months to realize that I needed this business, that what I was asking for all along was everything inside of this business, right? So remember, sometimes in that moment, people don't realize that they have a problem that needs to be solved. But the thing is, we're problem solvers. So if there's no problem, like, we don't have a solution to offer them, right? We can't just be like, oh, well, you need this business, because even though it's so great, not everybody needs it, right? There still needs to be doctors and lawyers and teachers in the world. So yes, the community is super amazing. Sorry, I'm reading the chat as I'm saying this. So number 3, this is the third mind shift. So stop comparing yourself to other people and stop telling yourself you're stuck. You guys, I think like from June to the end of the year, so like the last half of the month in 2020, I was like, I'm stuck. I didn't understand what was happening in my business. I didn't understand what was going on, not realizing it was a mental thing. And I literally thought like I was stuck, and I didn't realize it was all up here. I was stuck up here. You want to know why? Because I wasn't doing anything up here. I wasn't focused on the personal development. I wasn't working intentionally with my mind and growing myself. So stuck is your soul's way of telling yourself that you're not growing anymore. I always tell people, when you want to get unstuck, do something. Do a power hour. Pick up a book. 9 times out of 10, when you're stuck, it's up here. It's about what's between the ears, right? So remember, always evolve or remain. You have 2 options. So you either want to work on you and make yourself better to in turn make your business better, or you want to remain the same and you don't want any growth. So tips to unstuck yourself. It's time to grow, right? When you say that to yourself, that's a lot more exciting than saying that you're stuck, right? So embrace the stuck, get grateful for it even. Why? Because gratitude is a direct way out of the comparison game, right? Do some inner work, do some journaling, right? Get on a mindset call. And you know, something that's really interesting is that I had to talk with my friend before, and it was just like, I don't understand why we have so many mindset calls, so many personal development calls. I need the strategies. You guys, you can have all the strategies in the world, and if your mindset isn't right, they're not going to work. They're not going to work, right? Maybe you'll get to A and B, maybe MB, but they're not going to work. You're never going to be able to up level if that mindset isn't right. So ask yourself, what feels off? What do you truly want next? Tap into the intuition that we so often ignore, and that inner voice that leads us. In this case, that's telling us that it's time to grow. Usually the first thing to come to mind when we're most disgusted in is the biggest indicator where something is off, right? Maybe it's a job, maybe it's time for a new job, right? This is something we see so often in our industry. When we see people complaining about their job, you offer them the business opportunity and no, I'm fine. I'm not going to change. I'm going to stay where I am, right? This is something we see all the time. Oh, my hair is so shitty. I hate the way it looks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, change your products, right? Here's a solution I can fix. No, I'm good. It's always been like that. I don't want to do anything about it, blah, blah, blah. Again, that's that self-sabotage. Some people are so cemented and so attached to who they were that they don't care to bring out who they're going to become or who they want to be, right? They're going to stay stuck where they are. So if it's your weight, time to get real with the diet/exercise plan. And again, all of this stuff, like that goes back to your habits. That goes back to your consistency. So make a strategic plan to unstuck yourself. Where do you want to be in the next 6 months or this time next year? Then work backwards. That's a great way, like regressively working with your goals. So, okay, you know, I want to be a director. What do directors do when it comes to their mindset? What do directors do when it comes to their daily method of operation? What IPAs are they doing? Are they hosting events? Are they hosting calls, right? What time are they waking up in the morning? You can't be waking up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon being like, oh, I want to be SED when you've lost half the day. Like, so here, this was an example from the website. It says hire a coach if necessary. I'm going to replace coach with mentor and not even your upline. Get an online mentor. Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Les Brown, Jim Rohn. If you guys don't know those names, you're not doing personal development, right? Bob Proctor. You could do Mornings with Nano, right? These are all people in our industry that literally have free content available for us to consume. Go on YouTube. There's a PDF file that you could read some books. All of these people offer mentorship to you, right? You don't have to know them directly. If you want a life coach, you can go to your upline. You could go to your upline director, right? Professional athletes have them. That's the highest paying industry in the world. Guess who comes second? We do. Network marketing. So business leaders have them, and regular people should too. But remember, we're not regular. We're above average. So there you go. So everybody on this call is above average. Remember to tell yourself that. Winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. I'm sure you guys have seen this call before. This picture on a call before. I know Bianca has shown it several times, and I thought it fits so perfectly because I want to talk about this universal law real quick. It's called the law of oneness. So I personally love this quote so much, but there's a quote that says, when God is blessing your neighbor, it means he's in your neighborhood, right? Depending on where you are in your mindset journey, in your spiritual journey, maybe when you see something good happen to you, happen to somebody else, you feel envious, you feel jealous. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you need to work on yourself a little bit more, right? It means that you need to take a little bit more personal development, right? That's all it is. That's an indicator to you. So when you see something happening for other people, if you practice genuine happiness versus getting jealous, you're vibrating at that frequency and telling the universe that you're worthy of the same wins. So if you see somebody get a VIP and you're in the chat like, oh my God, yes, girlfriend, look at that. Somebody's ranking up. Oh my God, I knew you could do it. You've been putting in that work, right? Somebody getting their Cadillac, right? Nobody deserves it better than you. When you reach out with that genuine vibration of love and gratitude, you're telling the universe that you're ready to receive it. And again, God is blessing your neighbor, which means that he's in your neighborhood, right? Now, when you tell yourself, oh my God, that person is always getting VIPs, but I don't understand, I post more than her. That person is always getting market partners and I do more work than her, right? First of all, you don't even know what's going on, right? Because half the time our work is like 90% offline and probably like 20% out there on your stories and on your feed and on your reels and stuff. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what price they paid to get to where they need to be. That's number one. Number two, it could be happening for you too, right? But when you operate out of like hate and jealousy and envy, you lower your vibration, which means that you start to repel those things. So that's something that I wanted to talk about, especially because that's a huge, huge thing. Yes, I honestly, when I heard that for the first time, that quote, like it has stuck with me ever since. And I love it. I tell myself that all the time. When I see somebody ranking up, when I see somebody getting that VIP, when I see somebody getting that market partner, I'm always like, yep, God is in the neighborhood. It's happening for me. So this is the same theme. Raise your vibration, right? A weak aura attracts negativity. When you vibrate in jealousy, greed, guilt, you know, that's negativity. That's that weak aura. When you vibrate in love and gratitude and abundance, this is a strong aura. It's going to attract more abundance and positivity. Your vibration is the frequency that your energy body resonates at. The higher your vibration, the more aligned and connected you'll be with your true self and your greater purpose. You get what you're a vibrational match for in the world, right? That's something huge. Do not get me wrong. Like 100% you get what you work for, but you also get what you are. So when you're attracting people into the business who are lazy, who don't want to work, well, thank you. When you attract people in the business who are lazy, who don't want to work, like that is literally what the universe is telling you that you are being right now. And why? Because you can't cheat energy, right? So something that's really funny is like, I always used to say this. I was like, time will either expose you or promote you. Time will either expose you or promote you. You guys, time was exposing me and I didn't realize it, right? Time was 100% exposing me. Now I'm putting in the work. Like I'm not cheating the universe. It doesn't matter, right? I could post, oh, I'm reading this book, blah, 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 but the universe knows whether or not I'm doing the work. The universe knows whether or not I'm doing that shadow work, that inner work. I'm working my business. I'm doing my IPAs. I'm doing what's necessary to thrive. And the universe is going to expose me or promote me, right? So that's why I say you get what you're a vibrational match for. If you attract people on your team who are super insecure, maybe you're super insecure. And why do I say that? Because there are going to be different lessons that are going to continue popping up in your business. And I always say, like, you don't have, well, I don't say this. I think Daniel G says this, but it's something that's always stuck with me. You don't have business problems. You have personal problems that show up in your business, right? So if you see like a repeating lesson or like a repeating occurrence, remember, that's a lesson that needs to be learned. So pay close attention to it. If it's something that's happening with several people in your team and it's a trend that you notice, that's a lesson that needs to be learned. That is literally the universe is screaming at you and giving you signs, right? So here, stop attaching your worth to your work, right? So this right here, I want you guys to put your cameras on and we're gonna do a pinky swear because I need you guys to pinky swear to me that we're gonna stop attaching our worth to our work, okay? Everybody with me? Those are my people right there. Yes. Great, yes, all right, awesome. So remember, this is a contract that we have now, okay? Pinky promise. Yeah, I take my pinky promises very seriously, okay? Stop attaching your worth to your work. So you're all worthy of greatness, but you have to focus on becoming that version of yourself. I always call it like my highest, I'm stepping into my highest self, right? That's what I've been super, super focused on this year. So maybe for you, that's stepping into your seven-figure self, whatever you call it, that's you, right? Pretend if you're somebody who maybe you're not there yet, pretend you have an alter ego and that's the person who's running your business, right? Like how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, right? Find your alter ego and that's going to be your highest self. That's going to be your version. And eventually like I'm a quotes person, you guys, I'm sorry. There's a quote out there that says like, there's two versions of you, right? Keep on showing up until you guys are introduced, right? Because you don't know that other version of yourself. The other version of yourself is the highest version of yourself. So you have to keep showing up as her until you guys are introduced. Because remember, you don't jump from MMP to SED. You show up as a SED and eventually the title matches the work that you've been putting in. It matches your work ethic. You're gonna act like a SED long before you ever achieve that title. You're gonna act like MDC before you ever achieve that title. And that's why we always say your rank does not define you. All it is a title, right? It's your leadership. It's your effort. It's your ethic. So I want you guys to go into tomorrow with intensity. This is supposed to say intention and intensity. I said intensity and intensity. Those are my two words that I have for you guys, not only for the end of the year, but for 2022, right? Remember, everything that you guys do right now is something that you're not going to reap the benefits for until next year because we work a 90-day business, right? So focus on what's going to get you where you want to be, bring value and create. So when you don't want to show up, that person that you're comparing yourself to will be showing up and they will close your potential. So something that I always act like somebody's gonna come and see all my VIPs and my MPs. Why? Because it lets me run my business with urgency instead of sitting on my ass, right? Because some of us don't have that wake up moment. Sometimes it takes 2 years for us to be like, I'm tired of my shit. Like, I'm ready to live my life. I'm ready to go after what I want. I'm ready to go after what's mine. Why? Because there are people with half your talent claiming all of your successes out there. So remember, it's time to make a decision, right? Decide, commit, and execute. So that's all I have. And it's time to dominate, you guys. You 100% got this. There's like 30 days left in the year for us to accomplish everything we want to in 2021. And remember, the way that we finish this year is the way that we start the next. So thank you, everybody who hopped on. I really appreciate you guys being here with me. So bye. Love you.